Morning everyone, Jack Delahy here, founder of collegeconsulting.us. Collegeconsulting.us, we have one mission, and it is to help the country's highest performing, highest motivated high school students and their parents reach their full collegiate potential so they don't end up in the back half of senior year saying, if only I had known insert blank about the college planning admissions process. And in today's video, I'm actually going to answer what is probably the single most common question that I've had in my 15 plus years of being in this college admissions world, and it is this: when should we start? When should we start? So, before I answer, and I will answer soon, I'm going to give you a little context. I've always also wondered when you should start. If you go on college admissions blogs and some of the more kind of intense, I would say, insights out there, you can see everything from, professionals in the industry recommending you should start college planning in 5th grade, in 6th grade. There is a balance. And we preach at collegeconsulting.us that kids are only kids once. They need to have a life. There is a sweet spot where you should start college planning, and then there is too early. And by the way, there is too late. And so some places might say you can never be too early. Well, I disagree. If you're starting thinking about college planning in 5th grade or 6th grade, it is too early in my opinion. Kids need to have a life. Kids need to enjoy themselves. Kids need to live. And yet, on the flip side, if you start thinking about college planning in the fall of 12th grade, that is too late today. It really is. You are going to put yourself in a serious hole when it comes to college admissions. And so I've always wondered, what is that sweet spot? And so, a little context. 2 admission cycles ago, we had kind of a record-breaking admission cycle at collegeconsulting.us. We had many, many Ivy League acceptances and Ivy adjacent acceptances. Our students did really well. And so I said, I'm going to use this admission cycle. And for our seniors who got into many of their dream schools, I said, I'm going to retroactively look at when they joined our program. Now, I'm talking about our all-inclusive 4-year college confidence program, and it's designed to be a 4-year program. But here's the deal. Some parents who are on the early side join in 9th grade. Their kids join in 9th grade. Some parents who are on the later side, we accept 11th graders with one major contingency, which is that students are going to put in significant work. But I've always wondered, what is that sweet spot to join? What is that sweet spot to initiate college planning, not just in my program, not just in our team's program, but in general, for anyone. Even if you're doing college planning on your own, what is that sweet spot? And so I retroactively reviewed every single one of our students and then said, when did they start? And it was really cool to be able to go back 2, 3, 4 years and say, this student got into their dream school. Okay, that's great. When did they start working with us? This student got into their dream school. When did they start working with us? This student got into their second choice school. When did they start working with us, right? And you can see I did this. I also then did the exact same analysis retroactively for scholarships. This student got a full ride scholarship. When did they start working with us? This student got a 50% scholarship. When did they start working with us? And this was a multi-day project. It took forever, especially because, I was having to go back and really look at the data from 2, 3, 4 years prior when they exactly joined, etc., then counting the months that they were in our program. But I did it. And it was really cool to see. So, we will flash the charts on the screen. There are 4 charts. We will also link to them so you can see. But it was unbelievably clear, the data, which said the sweet spot to start college planning is the summer between 8th and 9th grade. There it is. So if you want, you can turn off the rest of the video. Go initiate your own college planning journey for your about-to-be high schooler if you've got one. The summer between 8th and 9th grade is the sweet spot, is the ideal time to start. Now guess what this means? This means if you are watching this right now, and by the way, in a second, I will go into a lot more reasoning for this, and then I will give concrete things that you can do. if you're looking to start the college planning journey. But if you have a child who is younger than that, congratulations, I'm giving you permission, if you're a parent watching this, to let them be kids. If they're in 6th grade going into 7th grade, we're going to release this sometime in the summer 2025. So if it's 6th grade going into 7th grade going into 8th grade, guess what? You can say, okay, I watched this video of Jack. I have permission to let my kid be a kid for another year, for another 2 years. Let my kid just truly enjoy. We don't have to think about things like college. If you have a child who's in the summer between 8th and 9th grade, congratulations. This is my way of saying you are at the perfect time to begin the college planning process in a super fun, super relaxed manner. And I'll give you some tangible steps that you can take in a second. And if you are watching this and you have a child who is older than that, meaning 9th grade going into 10th grade, because again, this is the summer, so we're in a transition between grades, 10th into 11th, even 11th into 12th, and you have not started, this is my way of saying you should start today. Because based on the data that we saw, and yes, we have anecdotal evidence as well, you are slightly behind. Now again, don't worry. The best time to start is the summer between 8th and 9th grade. And if you are a day behind on that, guess what? The best day to start is now. Believe me, as someone who myself, when I was going through the college planning journey, did not start the summer between 8th and 9th grade, I can say you can still end up great. But again, to be clear, I'm giving you the optimal data because families who reach out to us in our program, given that we have such exceptional results, given that we work with the students, high performers, they are asking optimal. They're saying in an ideal world, when should we start? So again, we'll put the charts on the screen again for you to see. It's very, very clear. The students who begin college planning in the summer between 8th and 9th grade give themselves the best chance at admission into one of their top dream schools. And yes, the charts that we did was for their top choice school, their number one. And those exact same students, it makes sense, who have such amazing college-ready profiles are the students who have scholarship-ready profiles. They run in parallel. It makes perfect sense. And again, our data showed it. Those students who started college planning in the summer between 8th and 9th grade ended up, fast forward 4 years, receiving the most scholarships. And again, this is internal. This is just in our program, but it was several data points. This wasn't 1 or 2 students. You know, we had our class at that point of 40-ish. I would have to go back and look at the exact numbers, but the point is this wasn't 1 or 2. This was 40-ish. So let me now give you the 3 reasons why, after us internally looking at that data, I am so certain, and the data shows it, that the summer between 8th and 9th grade is the best time to join. Reason number 1, guess what? You are giving your child the best chance of admission at their dream school. Now, if your child's in the summer between 8th and 9th grade, here's the thing. They probably don't know what their dream school is yet. And this is where college planning gets so tricky, because families wait until whenever their child typically has that kind of like, I've decided on my dream school. And they're like, okay, now that you've decided on your dream school, let's figure out how to get you in. But unfortunately, that is not the best way to go about it. Those students who say, I don't know what my dream school is, and yet I'm going to build a college-ready profile so when the time comes in 2, 3, 4 years, whatever that dream school is that I choose, I will be in the best position for success. I will have a 4-year foundational profile that I've built. If you need more insights on this, take a look at my recent YouTube video where I talk about growing the roots and how the best college-ready profiles are actually built by students who are not thinking about the end result, who are not thinking about, I want to get into Harvard. They're thinking about, how do I build myself? How do I build my character? How do I build my self-discipline? How do I build my study habits? And guess what? Then eventually they say, you know what? Maybe come junior year, Harvard's my target. Well, congrats, because for the last 2 years, you've been building a profile that was Harvard ready. You just didn't know it was Harvard ready. So, number 1, you simply, if you start early, you give your child the best chance of admission into their dream school, whatever that is. Number 2, you are going to save a lot of money. As a parent of a high schooler, if you start the college planning process early, you are simply going to save a lot of money. Take a look at the scholarship charts, which we'll now put on the screen. Our students who started working with us in 9th grade, and by the way, just a brief interlude, a lot of college coaching programs out there say, oh, if you want to start with us in 11th grade, it's this amount. If you want to start with us in 9th grade, it's twice as much, because that's 2 times as many years of coaching. We just do things differently. Because of what I'm telling you, we incentivize families to join early because that gives us the best chance of helping our families. And so, whether a family joins last minute in 11th grade because we say you can put in the work, we're a 4-year program, but we'll expedite it for you, or they join, when I'm telling right now, between 8th and 9th grade, and we say you are in the sweet spot. We can help you. It's a 4-year plan. Let's do this. Regardless, whether they join between 8th and 9th or they join in 11th, it's the exact same price. Again, I mandate this because the college admissions world is wrought with, well, if we review 4 essays, it's this much, but if we review 8 essays, it's twice as much. Not with us. We want to be just as incentivized as you. We want our families to deeply feel and understand why joining early is such a critical part to the college planning journey. And so, whether you join in 9th, whether you join in 8th, or whether you join in 11th, our prices will always be exactly the same. Now, back to regular scheduled programming. We've gone through 1. You're going to give your child the best chance of reaching their dream school, which again, if you reach your dream school, your child's going to have that much more confidence, going to say, wow, I had a goal and I reached it because it was 4 years of planning that I put into it. Number 2, you're going to save yourself a ton of money. Just so you know, if you're like, well, how does this correlate? It's actually really easy. The best college-ready profiles, the most impressive profiles, the ones where the top admissions rooms in the country say, we want to admit this student. Those are the exact same profiles where they say, we want to admit this student with merit scholarships to incentivize them to come. Those are the same profiles. Let's flash Emily on the screen at Notre Dame. Handwritten note saying, please come. It was because she put in multiple years of work. She had a college-ready profile, and Notre Dame was saying, please come. By the way, they can say, please come with a handwritten note like they did for Emily. They can also say, please come by giving scholarship money in their package as a little bonus incentive. And so it was very clear. Our students who worked for 4 years in our program had significantly more scholarship offers come 12th grade than the students who joined in 11th grade. And number 3, the third reason, and to me, maybe this is just my style, but to me this is the most important, it is way more fun. For 15 years I've been preaching that the college planning journey can be ultra successful and ultra fun at the same time. Some other, gurus out there might say, no, that's impossible. You've got to grind teenagers down. You have to have them, they better not be sleeping more than 6 hours a night. They better be taking 15 AP classes. I just have a different approach. And where the college planning journey gets ultra stressful is when you don't have enough time. Because all of a sudden you're trying to jam pack everything into like a 12-month process. You're taking SATs, you're taking ACTs, you're trying to pack your academic schedule. You're trying to go on college trips, you're trying to visit schools, you're trying to figure out your list, you're trying to figure out your early decision school. Then all of a sudden you realize, whoa, I thought I had till January of senior year, but I really only have till November because I want to apply early decision, because I want to give myself the best chance. And those 12 months become 9 months. It gets stressful. Nearly every day we hear from mothers that say, all I want is to stop having dinner table conversations about college planning. Those dinner table conversations about college planning happen because families know, maybe subconsciously, but they know they're running short on time. And when you make the process simply a parallel process with high school, meaning, oh, you're starting high school? Guess what? We are going to stress-free with a long-term 4-year plan that parallels high school, just consistently be upping our college game. It's amazing how much easier it is, right? This is no different than working on any goal in life, you know? When students first learn in 9th grade, like, oh, you've got an essay, and that first time, I remember when I did it, when you stay up bleary-eyed till 2 a.m. because you just didn't work on the essay until the night before, you only do that so many times until you realize, wow, it takes a little bit more forethought, a little bit more planning, a little bit more maturity. But wow, if I work on this essay for just an hour a day for a week before it's due, instead of 7 hours the night before, not only is it way less stressful, way more fun, but I actually then typically get a better grade on the paper. And it's the same thing. Okay, so now you've heard my reasoning. Again, we've got 4 charts that show this data. Again, this was internal data. It was 40-some data points, but I do think it's powerful. And by the way, it aligned with exactly what I knew, right? When we see the families who then anecdotally come to us, we have a lot of families who join us with their first child, and because they haven't been thinking about college planning, let's just say they join back half of sophomore year. And we say, hey, we have a different approach here. We're not just a Band-Aid approach. We're not just a, work on your essays 12th grade, but like we're a long-term approach, and you're joining at the end of 10th grade, so you are behind, but we will get you caught up. Then we get them caught up. The first child does exceptionally well. And I mean, in my mind, right now, I'm thinking of 8, 9, 10 different families who then come back with child number 2. And their number one thing is they come back the summer between 8th and 9th grade and they say, your program was exceptional for my high school sophomore. We've learned one thing. We want to get started now. We want to get started early. And we say, yes, yes. Because the family, having gone through it with their first child, realizes that it's not a 1-year process. It's not a 2-year process if you want to do it right. And so not only was this data profound to see, but it just aligned with all my anecdotal examples of just seeing parent after parent after parent who enrolled sibling number 2, sibling number 3, and yes, even sibling number 4, who said, oh yeah, we're not enrolling in 10th grade or 11th grade this time. We're enrolling as soon as you all accept. And that was really cool to see. It's been cool to see for many, many years. All right, so now let's get to actionable steps. I think that background's important, so you all just, if you're watching this, you don't think, well, this guy's just saying it. Where does he get, like, I figured discussing for 17 minutes or so the reasoning behind it, the method to the madness, is important. But now let's get into actionable steps. I'm going to give you 3 actionable steps that you can take immediately today. So, again, if you are watching this and you have someone who is if you have a child who is 8th going into 9th grade and it is the summer, you can say, wow, I now have permission to start. I've been told this is the ideal time, but how do I start? How do I tell my 8th into 9th grader that, hey, you haven't stepped foot in high school, but let's start thinking about college? I get that. That can be daunting. So I'm going to give 3 concrete steps to help initiate that process. Step number 1, very fun, very easy when you have 4 years. And that is just start visiting a handful of nearby campuses. Step number 1, just start visiting a handful of nearby campuses. Have no goal, have no agenda, just start visiting. Why? It helps an 8th into 9th grader, or again, if you're watching this and you have a 9th into 10th or a 10th into 11th, the day to start is today. You can go as a parent and look up, make sure the schools that you go to are easy, drivable, can be done on a Saturday or a Sunday. What you're looking for is to just show your child a balance of different types of schools. I have a video, we could link to it, but I'll also briefly describe it here. What you're trying to mix and match is big school versus small school, campus versus no campus, city versus country, right? Or urban, rural. The reason this is so helpful is if you have an 8th or 9th grader, you don't have to go in with this agenda of like, is this my school and am I going to apply? And you get all like nervous and stressed. I know what those visits are like. I did those in 11th grade and 12th grade. They were like nerve-wracking trips because I was like, I have one chance to learn everything about this school to decide if I'm going to apply. or decide if it's my top choice. The beauty about doing it in 8th or 9th grade is you can say, we're just here to just explore. And as a parent, that should be so much more fun. It's like the toe in the door to teaching your kid that, hey, college planning can be enjoyable if we don't have to rush through it. So, big, small, urban, rural, campus, no campus. Mix and match those qualities as you see fit. We send students to NYU every year, Northeastern every year. Those are city campuses, right? Those are city schools. There's technically a campus, but there's really like no campus feel. And guess what? Our students who go there love it. But it takes a certain type of student to want that environment versus, like, we'll just use where I went. Vanderbilt is a campus. Like, when you step foot on campus, there is no one else. There's no New York City people walking around you, or in Vanderbilt's case, Nashville. Like, it is an enclosed campus. That alone is a huge thing for a student to figure out, what kind of environment do I want? Then you've got big versus small. I grew up in the New England area. There's tons of liberal arts colleges with 3,000 kids or less that have that more high school feel. And guess what? For certain students, that's awesome. For other students, that would be the death of them. Like, they want something beyond high school. And so big versus small, right? Are you going to go on a campus with 20,000 students or a campus with 2,000 students? Like, those are the vibes and the feel that you can just get when you just stroll onto a campus, sign up for an information session, sign up for a tour, and then just hang out. And by the way, last tip, if you're going to do this, eat in the dining hall, always. Always eat in the dining hall. Don't go off campus if you're there. If you do an information session, then you do a tour, just eat in the dining hall, especially if it's during the semester when students are on campus, because you will learn more from just sitting in a dining hall and eating there and just watching students. Or one up your game, go and have your high schooler, if they're, confident and they can hold a conversation, go ask a student who's just sitting at a dining hall table, hey, what grade are you in? Tell me how you like it here. You will learn more during that 5-minute conversation than you did the whole campus tour. Just so you know, the reasoning is tour guides are the introduction to campus. They're designed to sell you on the campus. I was a tour guide. I know what this is like, right? And so when you go to campus and you have 4 years, you can just deeply feel like we're just going to have fun. All right, so that was step number 1, actionable step number 1. Actionable step number 2. Many do not think that this is college planning, but it is. And this is where we just take a different approach. We have a foundational approach, and I'm teaching it to you here today. Have your child actually deeply come up with study habits and in-classroom processes that they're happy with, they're proud of, and that deliver results. The single most important factor in all of college admissions is high school grades. And by the way, unless I am a horrible predictor, that will never change. It will always be number 1. So what we see often is when families start thinking about college in 11th grade, they come to us and they say, here's my kid's profile from 9th and 10th grade. And the amount of times I've looked at that, and I'm looking at an 11th grader who's got, he's grown up from 9th to 11th grade. And he's like, yeah, I'm really bummed about my freshman year or science class. I just didn't really think that it would, be something that's, so important. And now I'm in 11th grade and I'm more mature and I get it. And it's tough because there's nothing we can do to change that grade. But there is something that you can do if you're a parent of an 8th to 9th grader. Go take a look at my video, how to get straight A's in every class and sleep 8 hours a night. If your child simply implements those tactics, learns them, embraces them in 9th grade, they are going to be head and shoulders above their competition, because their competition, those who are also going to apply to the top schools 4 years later, will not, right? The teenage brain is developing. A 9th grader, you cannot expect to have sound study habits, systems, processes, notebooks with colored pens like I put in that video. But if you make it a priority, if you think of it as this is the first step to college planning, not the last, not an afterthought, you'll be far better off. Last thing, third actionable step. So you've got one that has to do with searching for colleges. You have another that has to do with your profile. Third item, have a game plan for your standardized test. Here's why. Now, I just want to be clear. This doesn't mean that you need to take your standardized test the summer between 8th and 9th grade. But start working on a game plan, meaning start talking to your child about it. Meaning maybe take a practice ACT and a practice SAT to figure out which one your child generally performs better on, likes better. So now all of a sudden you're just in halfway through 9th grade and you know, I'm taking the ACT. That's huge. Most students don't figure that out until the back half of 11th grade or into 12th, even which of the two tests. You can take either one, but how powerful if you have an SAT, ACT plan in place that's not stressful because you know you have 4 years. By the way, as an aside, we have score choice in this country. If you decide, you know what, I've decided I want to take the ACT, I'm just going to take the ACT twice a year for 4 years. That's 8 tests, and I'm going to just submit my best score. If you just did that alone, I'm telling you, you're going to absolutely crush your ACT or SAT because you've got 8 real tests, and we have score choice in this country, which means that if you don't like your score, you just don't have to submit it, which means you can have 7 horrible scores. And think about how stress-free that is to know I've got 4 years of high school to just get a killer standardized test score. If you want to know why I'm making this third actionable tip, it's because standardized testing is the second most important characteristic in all of college admissions, but it is the highest leverage. The inputs to outputs ratio is incredibly skewed when it comes to standardized testing, meaning for the second most important characteristic behind high school grades, it has the lowest amount of input for that high output. I do a whole whiteboard session where I go through the math of this. We'll link to that YouTube video. But there you go. If you can come up with a standardized testing game plan, even, I know parents, if you've made it to the end, you're saying, okay, what does that mean to come up with a game plan? Here's what it means. You can put together a calendar. You can say, for your 9th grade year, what our goal is to decide on which test to take, and our goal is to take a practice test, one SAT or ACT to decide which test to take, and then our goal is by the end of 9th grade to have signed up for a 10th grade test. Like even that, right? That game plan alone will put your child head and shoulders above the rest because it's not really that many steps, but it's allowing your child to see the bigger picture. A lot of teenagers can get pigeonholed. They don't know what actual steps are required to like fulfill the college admissions journey. And just even doing that, right? Introducing them to a couple campuses, saying, hey, let's work on giving you strong foundational study skills. And hey, by the way, this SAT or ACT, it's super in the future, but let's at least talk about it now so you're aware that it's going to be important. That alone, you teach that to a 9th grader, top 1% of high schoolers in terms of just their even thinking and maturity around college admissions. So, I hope this video was helpful. Obviously, a lot of generalities there. Have to do that on YouTube. I don't know who's watching. But the bigger theme is, if you have a 7th grader or below, let them be a child. I'm a huge proponent of when it's time, go all in. Before it's time, embrace whatever else you're doing. And before the summer between 8th grade and 9th grade, you can let them be a child. Now, if you're a parent and you're like, we really want to be on the early side, then 8th grade. 8th grade, somewhere between 7th and 8th, I'll allow you to start. But really, please, not earlier than that. Let them be a child. Let them have fun. Let them embrace their childhood. If you're watching this and you have it's the summer right now, between 8th and 9th grade for your child, amazing. I'm so happy. I hope, if anything, this video at least has you thinking about, maybe I should start initiating these conversations and we can have a fun, successful, money-saving 4-year college plan. And if you're watching this and you have anyone older than this, a 9th to 10th grader, a 10th to 11th, and 11th to 12th grader, this is my way of saying, guess what? You can start today. All right? It's never too late. You can start today. Every year we have last-minute juniors who come into our program and we say, hey, we're a 4-year program. We are going to have to expedite everything, like tremendously. And they say, okay, I wish I had joined 2.5 years ago, but can't change the past, and we go all in, and they go all in, and every single year we have 11th graders reach their dream school. Is it harder? Yes. Right? Does the data show it's less successful? Absolutely. But every single year we have 11th graders who reach their top choice dream schools and say, I went all in for basically a 12-month sprint. It's possible. Not easy, but possible. So if you're watching this and you have one of those older children, start today. And if they have a younger sibling who's in that 8th to 9th grade window, then certainly start them today as well. I hope this helped. If you're interested in talking about your personal situation, your child's personal situation, you can click the link below. You can have a 100% free college planning strategy session with our team. And until next time, cheers.